So welcome to the Team Made team call tonight. I'm going to be hosting as Melissa is obviously in Greece. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Cinthanie McAllister. So if you can guess who I am related to, you win a prize. So I am a coach right here on Team Made, and Melissa is obviously my sponsored coach. And I am her daughter-in-law. So I'm sure you can probably put together how I got into coaching. And I've been a coach for about 5 years now, and I have a 3-star diamond team, and quite a few of them are on here tonight. So shout out to the Freedom Empire, represent. Okay, so tonight I'm gonna be sharing with you guys a little bit about how to close with class on your customers. So I know that like one of the #1 questions that I get from my coaches is that how do, like, okay, we talk about inviting, like that is everywhere. There's so many trainings on how to invite, but then like, what do you say after someone responds to an invite, right? Like that is like one of the questions that I get from all my coaches. So I put together a little system that is literally a step-by-step of how to take somebody from an invite to becoming a customer or a coach. So I really hope that this outline is helpful for you guys. And feel free to screenshot anything, or of course, obviously take notes. And if you have any questions during, just drop them in the chat. And at the end of it, I'll go through all the questions in the chat. Because if I leave the chat up, I will get so distracted and want to just talk with you guys the whole time. So drop any questions that you have in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Share screen. Okay, so let me click present. Gotta move this here. Can you guys hear me okay? Like give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Yes? Okay, I see 1 thumb up. All right. Okay, so we're going to be talking about, like I said, closing with class. So I'm going to give you a couple of action steps to take in your conversations, and really the goal of you being able to learn these steps is to give you confidence in your conversations, because if you know where the conversation is headed, then it's going to be so much easier for you to have confidence when you are talking to somebody about this opportunity. And I'm really sorry if you can hear barking dogs in the background. My dog thinks that it is his turn to talk, and it's not, but he didn't get that memo, so I apologize. But all right, so like I said, closing with class, really to give you confidence in your conversations. And you have to remember that what we do as coaches, above anything, what we have is a gift. And you are offering this gift to people when you invite them. So always keep that in your, the front of your mind when you're inviting, is that this is a gift. So we're not going to talk about how to invite tonight, because like I said, I feel like there's all the trainings on that. So if you need to learn about inviting, you can look it up in the champions page. I'm sure there's calls that we have had in the team made page, or even on YouTube, but there's a ton of resources for inviting. So what I'm teaching you guys tonight is after you have sent an invite and somebody has responded saying that yes, they would like more information, okay? So this is the method that I use. It is tried and true. It works very well for me, and I've shared it with my team as well, and it seems to work pretty well for them too. So I hope it's as beneficial for you guys as it has been for myself and my team. So just a couple key points that I want you guys to know as we get into these step-by-steps is that your job is to listen and to guide in your conversations. So instead of you thinking that you need to tell them all the things, really take a perspective of you're taking a back seat and letting them control the conversation. So you need to listen to their needs, and you are just a guide for them instead of trying to sell them something, right? So your job as a coach is to not just sell challenge packs, but it's to actually listen to someone's needs and guide them to the products that are going to help them. So I think a lot of times we get caught up in the sale, in the success club points, in the commissions, in the whatever we want to qualify for some awesome gift that Melissa has, whatever it is. I think that a lot of times that business side of it gets in our way of actually helping people and having their needs at heart instead of our success club points. So just remember that you are to listen and to guide them, right? And then something that is a key point, this is huge, is to make sure that you ask for permission. And I know this sounds weird, but you'll understand as we go through this. But I literally always end any message that I send with a question, basically asking permission if it's okay to go to the next step in our conversation. And that's going to make more sense in a minute. But I always say something like, would that be okay? Or I tell them the next thing that I'm going to do, because when you are asking for permission to continue with the conversation, or you're telling them what's next, that helps them feel like they are making the decisions and that they are in charge of the conversation, and you are merely just there to serve them. So really the asking for permission / telling them what's next establishes trust within this conversation from the get-go, because they know that you genuinely care if they care to listen to you, right? Like you genuinely want to know if they even care to continue with the conversation. So again, this will make more sense as we go into it. Okay, so let's say, like I said, you have given an invite to them. You've invited them to either coaching or a challenge group. These are more so for like challenge group, really. You've invited them, they've responded back and said yes, that they would like more information. This is literally word for word what I say. Like I could close my eyes and repeat this, not looking at my screen, because I say it so many times a day. And when I send these messages, typically for me, they are on Instagram. That's where my business is built, is solely through Instagram. And I always either send it in a voice memo, because one, it's way faster for me. And two, it's way more personable for them to hear your voice, because when you can hear somebody's voice, that tells a lot about intentions, right? So just like, it's just a little bit of a personal touch. Or I will send them a video, like a little quick video of me talking to them, just like I would on my stories, but to them. Because something that I have learned is how you capture people is how you're going to keep people. So for me, a lot of my business comes from my stories. So people like to watch me on video. So when I'm having a conversation with them, I'm going to send them videos, because that's how we connected in the first place. So you have to remember, how you connect with people is how you're going to keep people. So I send in this video or voice memo, I always say this exact thing. I always say, okay, so I'm going to ask you a couple questions so that I can get to know your goals and see if this would be the right fit for you. Is that okay? I always say that I'm going to ask them questions. Remember, I'm telling them what's coming next, because I want to see if this would even be the right fit for them. Instead of word vomiting about a challenge pack, I just want to see if this would even be the right fit for what they need. Even though I know it is, because we have something for everyone, they don't know that yet. So I always ask them, is that okay? I've got a couple questions that I want to ask you just to see what your goals are and see if this would be even the right fit for you. And I say, is that okay? And then I follow with these 3 questions, and I send them all at once, because if you send one question, wait for them to respond, send another question, like that you can cut so much out of the conversation by just being direct with these 3 questions all at once. So I always say that, I wait for them to respond back, and they always say yes, like obviously, because they want more information. But it's really key to tell them, like I said, what's next. Like I cannot stress it enough. Something as simple as just telling them what's next and asking if that's cool with them. So the following 3 questions are what have been a game changer for me in my conversations, because it is going to perfectly tee up the conversation for me to be able to introduce products and programs and challenge groups, instead of just saying, hey, I have a boot camp, here's all the details, does it sound like something you would want? No, you want to get their details and figure out how it fits for them, right? So these 3 questions are going to help you do that. So make sure you take a screenshot of this or write this down, because these are like the key 3 things. So once I get their permission that yes, they're cool with me asking them questions, I always ask these 3 questions. So I say, what are your goals? Is there anything that you feel has been holding you back from reaching your goals? And what do you feel you need in order to reach your goals? These 3 questions tell me everything, because within these 3 questions, you're going to get to know all of their needs. And when you know someone's needs, it is so much easier to recommend products and help fulfill their needs, instead of just telling them there's a challenge pack on sale for $20 off this month. Do you want it? When you know their needs, you're going to be able to help serve them before they ever become a customer or a coach on your team, okay? So these 3 questions, I always ask them, what are your goals? Is there anything that you feel has been holding you back from reaching them? And then what do you feel you need in order to reach your goals? These 3 questions, I've said 4, these 3 questions will tell you everything, okay? So the next thing, one of the best things that Melissa has ever taught me in my conversations and all that kind of stuff is to shut up and listen. Again, we know what we have is amazing, right? It's life-changing. That's why we're all here and that's why we do what we do. And because we're so passionate about it, we want to share it with the world. And a lot of times that means we word vomit so much and we speak and forget to listen. So I can't stress enough how important it is to listen instead of just waiting for them to respond so that you can fire back the next thing, right? Like you really need to be intentional about listening to what they need. So shut up and listen. Even if they send you like a mile-long freaking paragraph about their whole life story, that's fine. Listen, because it's going to tell you everything that you need to know in order to get to the next phase in your conversation. So I always listen for clues. And what I mean by listening for clues is when they're telling me that their goal is to lose weight, okay, obviously they need me. They need coaching. They need that, like they need this, right? Their goal is, or they say something like they struggle with nutrition and that they eat out a lot on the go. Okay, so that's a clue for Shakeology being a really good fit for them because it's on the go and it takes guesswork out of their food, right? Or I listen for they don't have the energy to work out, they're not motivated. That's a clue for energize. They say that they go to the gym and they don't know what to do because they don't have structured workouts. That's a clue for Beachbody on Demand, right? So listen to their needs because it's going to give you clues on exactly what they need. So I always shut up and listen, even if it's like, even sometimes they'll send me videos back and it will be like 10 videos literally about their life story. But it's important because basically what you're doing right now is you are courting them. Just like when you are dating somebody before you marry or whatever, like you're courting them. You get to know people and really listening to them is going to help you establish trust because they're going to see that you actually give a shit and that you're not just trying to sell them a product. You are truly trying to help them because you're listening to what they need. So listen for clues, okay? And like if they say that they lack accountability, they don't have anybody that supports them, obviously that's a challenge group, like a clue for a challenge group. So I always say, this is literally my canned response always, is based off of what you have shared with me, I do think this would be the right fit for you and here is why. And that's where I enter in X, Y, and Z. You know, so if they said something like they struggle with nutrition, nobody supports them on their goals, and they just don't even know where to start, I always say that this is the right fit for them, obviously, because we do have something for everybody, but I want them to know that. They need this conversation set up this way, lets them know that, okay? So based off of what you've shared with me, and if they're really vulnerable and like really share like some deep stuff, you have to honor that and say something like, okay, you know, thank you for being so bold and honest. That takes a lot of courage. And you know, based off of what you have shared with me, I really do believe that this would be the right fit for you. And here's why. You mentioned that you really struggle with nutrition, and I have guided nutrition plans for you that you don't know what to do in your workouts, where I have guided workouts that you can do at home or at the gym if that's what you like. And I also have a community that's going to give you that support that you feel like you're lacking. And then me as your coach, I can help to take the guesswork out of your journey and tweak where we need to as you go. Like, see how I can literally prescribe them exactly, always a challenge group and a challenge pack, but in words that are based off of what they need and not just some canned message about 21-day fix, right? It's got to be personal. You've got to connect people with the product or else they don't care. They don't care what it is. You know, you've got to connect them with it. So listen for the clues, and then based off of the clues, give them a recommendation. So I always say, you know, based off of what you've shared with me, I do think this would be the right fit for you because X, Y, Z. And then I say, how does that sound to you? Okay. I always say, how does that sound to you? Or does that sound like it would be a good fit for you? Does it sound like to you it would be a good fit for you? Again, you're always asking the question, always letting them make the decision, telling them what's next, right? So once they say yes to that, because they usually do, because how you have teed it up is that you have now talked about their needs and you have exactly what they need to fulfill that, to get to point A to point B in their fitness journey, right? So now here's where we actually get into, so we haven't talked anything about products or programs yet, right? Because you don't want to rush into that. I know you love Shakeology and you are super excited about it, but they aren't yet. because it doesn't relate to them yet. Now it does because we know what they need, okay? So the next thing that I ask once they say like, yes, this sounds like that sounds good, I always just say, okay, so what kind of exercise do you enjoy and how much time would you want to set aside a day to do it? So these questions are really important because they are going to help you figure out what program is going to be the right fit for them. I really want you guys to know that no one is as hyped about morning meltdown as coaches are, because that's in our bubble. People that you're talking to are not in our world. They have no freaking clue what morning meltdown is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may be hyped about whatever challenge pack is on sale that month or whatnot, but just because it's hot in the Beachbody world or it's on sale does not mean that it's the right fit for someone. Okay, so just because you're running a Transform 20 challenge group, it doesn't mean everybody has to do Transform 20. Instead of worrying about the unison of everybody doing the same program, worry about it being the right fit for someone's needs, because that's going to be so much more sustainable for them, instead of trying to force them to do the challenge pack that's on sale because you want everybody to do the same program. Okay, so ask them what kind of exercise they enjoy. You want to make sure you're going to give them a program that they're going to like. If they hate cardio but really like weight training, they're going to freaking hate an Cinthanie workout or a Transform 20 workout if they don't like cardio. Like, speak to what they like, right? So I always just ask them, like, what kind of exercise do you enjoy? Like, do you like to do Pilates? Do you like to do yoga? Do you like to weight train? Do you like HIIT training? What do you enjoy doing to move your body? Because that's going to help me kind of get an idea of what type of program would be a good fit for them, that they're going to like. And then I also ask how much time they have, that they will dedicate a day. Not how much they would ideally like to, but how much they can. Because that, again, we want to make sure if they really like weight training and want to build a booty, but only have 30 minutes a day and not an hour, 80-day obsession is not going to be good for them. It's going to be more something like Lift 4, right? So really, this is where, like, you as the coach come in to be the guide to guide them to the right program. So those are my next two questions, is always what kind of exercise do you enjoy and how much time do you have to set aside for exercise? Because that's going to help me to identify what program they need, okay? All right, so now this is where we give options. So let's say, for example, based off of all of this conversation so far, you have figured that Lift 4 is going to be a really good fit for this person. Instead of just telling them, okay, so Lift 4 is $180. How does that sound? You can, I never, physically, the words never come out of my mouth what the price is. And I'm going to show you how. I literally never personally talk price. I let a picture do the talking for price, okay? And I'm going to show you guys, but give them options. I always recommend 3 different price points: the Mega Challenge Pack, the Deluxe Challenge Pack, and the Base Challenge Pack, no matter what program it is. Because here's the thing, if you put 3 different options in front of people, they are going to compare those options. If you put one option in front of people, they're going to compare that option to things outside of Beachbody. No matter what, they're going to compare the price to something. So why not keep the comparison within our realm, right? Does that make sense? Because a lot of times people are like, oh, well, I can get Vega Protein because it's cheaper than Shakeology. Well, first of all, they're not the same thing. And second of all, if we keep them comparing the price within our products, it will keep them from comparing it to somewhere elsewhere, okay? So giving options is huge, okay? So I always recommend the 3 different price points, and I always tell them before I send it. I say, all right, so based off of what you shared with me, I literally always say that. I have an idea of a program that's going to be a good fit for you, and I kind of give them a breakdown. Like, it's a 4-day-a-week program with a little bit of weight training, a little bit of HIIT, because I know that's going to be a really good fit for your lifestyle. Okay, so I always kind of tell them. I never name drop the program. I never, ever, ever say the name of the program, because they don't care about the name. They don't care about the trainer. They care that it's going to fit in their schedule and that they're going to like it, right? So I literally do not talk anything about the names of the programs. So I speak on what speaks to them. So I always say, all right, so I'm going to send you a graphic with a couple different options. And I always recommend the middle challenge pack, you guys, for no other reason than the fact that I can. Because if I recommend the middle one, it may upsell them a little bit to get the deluxe challenge pack, which has Shakeology, Recover, Energize, and the program and Beachbody On Demand, instead of just the base one, right? I literally always recommend the middle price point, unless I genuinely do not feel like it's going to be the right fit for them. But I just say, you know, all right, so I'm going to send you guys, or I'm going to send you a graphic, and it has a couple different options. I would recommend the middle one because it's going to have Shakeology. That's where I start to talk about the products, because it gets like, now it makes sense to them, and now we can share about the product because they know that it's something that's going to help them, instead of Shakeology is awesome, you need to drink it. Okay, they don't care. They care that it speaks to their needs. So I say I would recommend the middle one because it includes Shakeology, which is going to take the guesswork out of your nutrition once a day. And then also it has Energize and Recover. So that's really going to help you to get a maximized amount out of your workout, but also help you recover so that you can walk up the stairs the next day, or you can pick up your baby. Like, I always make some kind of joke that's relevant to their lifestyle, because hello, DOMS is real, delayed onset muscle soreness, like that is real. So Recover helps you to like live your life the next day after your workouts. So always say, I would recommend the middle one because, and I did that little spiel, but here again, it's up to them, and I make sure that they know that. So I always say, I'm going to send you a graphic with a couple different price point options, and I want you to take a look at it, but I would recommend the middle one. But I want you to take a look and you let me know which one you feel like is going to be the right fit for you. Again, it's their decision. I'm not making them do anything. And because of that, this whole thing is their decision. It's not a sale. Again, you're just listening and guiding. Seriously makes the process so much easier. So what is the magical graphic that I'm talking about? I'm going to show you guys, you do not have to make a graphic. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. We have so many amazing resources that Beachbody has given us. So they are in your back office. And sometimes some people in the team are amazing and they make these beautiful different price point graphics that they share in the team page. Like I know Deanna Gaudet did it for, I hope I said her last name right, for the Ultimate Portion Fix. She made these gorgeous graphics that she shared in the team page. But you guys, that's not necessary. They are awesome, but I don't want you to feel like you need to go make graphics now. I want you to feel like you need to go have conversations now. So what you can do is you can go to your back office and go to your Coach Online office. That's what the COO thing is. And then click Grow My Business. Go to Product Tools. And then, for example, because we're talking Lift 4 Product Toolkit. Okay, so it's going to be Product Toolkit for whatever program that you're talking to them about. And then click on Product Comparison Guide. And this graphic that I'm talking about is already made by Beachbody for us. So that is the steps to get to it. If you guys want to take a screenshot or write that down so that you can remember where to find these graphics that I'm talking about that are going to do all the work for you. So this is for example, this is the Lift 4 Comparison Guide. It's beautiful. It breaks down every single freaking thing in the challenge packs. And what I do is I just screenshot these first 3 columns right here. And that is what I send them to take a look at. It shows the price. It shows everything that's in the pack. And they get to look at this. And when they see that it's $180 USD, $240, and then $455. You guys, when you show them those 3 different price points, the $180 is going to sound a heck of a lot better compared to those 2 things than it would have had you just started with the $180 and then tried to upsell from there, okay? So I send this graphic. I never say the price. I let the graphic say the price. I let them look at it, and I let them tell me which one they want. I always recommend the middle one though, like I said, but I always end it with, but go ahead and take a look and you let me know what you feel is going to be the right fit for you, for your budget, whatever. Because now they're comparing prices and they're going to think, obviously they're getting a great deal with whichever one they get, but if they get the base challenge pack, they're going to feel like they're getting a killer deal because it is compared to 2 prices that are a little bit higher, okay? So the graphic does all the selling. You do not, which is great. So recommend until the end, you guys. I cannot stress to you how valuable it is that you have listened to their needs and you know what they need. Because then, let's say they've picked a challenge pack, you can actually tack on extra things in their cart because you can recommend more products that we have in our arsenal outside of the challenge pack because you know what they need, because they told you what they need earlier and you listened. So for example, let's say this person went ahead and went with the $180 Lift 4 challenge pack, but they said that they really struggle with eating fast food. They're always on the go. Obviously, Shakeology is going to help with that. But then what I do is I put their challenge pack in share cart, but then I throw some beach bars in there. And I message them and I say, all right, girl, you're all good to go. I've put everything in your cart, but I actually threw some beach bars in it as well because I know you mentioned you're always on the go and it's hard for you to not grab food while you're out. And I really think beach bars are going to be a great go-to for you because you're busy. So just go ahead and take a look at them, but if you don't want them, you can take them out of your cart. I recommend until the end based off of whatever, even if they get the deluxe challenge pack, which is the middle one that has recover and energize, maybe they need a boost. Maybe they said that they really struggle with their nutrition. Add some super green or power greens in there, whatever it's called. That they struggle with digestion, they have IBS or something, throw the digestive health in there. Maybe they are doing all the great things that you can throw in the Activate vitamin in there. Like, we have such an arsenal of products and we are silly to think that a challenge pack is one and done. I know you get your Success Club points from your challenge pack, but imagine the volume that you can get so much more out of that challenge pack than just Success Club points. You can create a lot of volume and get them on home direct for more things that are going to help them. Not just because you want the volume, but because you listen to their needs and you know that power greens would actually be a really good thing for them to throw in their shake. Or beach bars are gonna be a really good thing for them to grab a hold of. Or if they did the base pack, maybe just throw Energize in there, or maybe just Recover. Recommend until the end, because I always tell them, if you don't want it, you can take it out of your cart. But I thought I would just throw it in there because you mentioned XYZ. You know, again, literally knowing their needs is priceless throughout this whole process. So recommend until the end. And then always lead with the need. Like I said, I think that when we have conversations, we bang out our invites, we're, following our vital behaviors, and we're looking for the Success Club points or the next coach for the next rank advancement, and we forget that we need to have human-to-human connection with these people, and you're not just moving product. We are not in a transactional business. We are in a relationship business, and if you navigate your conversations this way, you are going to establish trust because they were heard. You listened to them. That's honestly really rare nowadays because we have such short attention spans. And on social media, people aren't social on social media. They just look like when people message me on Instagram, they always apologize. They're always like, hey, sorry to bother you. I'm like, fool, it's social media. It's okay to message me. Like, that's why we have messages like in DMs. But like, we're in a time where it's kind of almost weird to talk to people on social media. So the fact that they not only got to talk to you, but they know that you heard, like you listened to what they had to say, is huge. They were helped because you guided them to products that are genuinely going to help them and not just because they're on sale. And then you are on your way to helping them get badass results. And I want you to remember that once you close on somebody and you sell a challenge pack, that is not it, you guys. That is where it just starts. But if you can already coach them the minute you start having a conversation, as in coaching them to what products and programs are going to be right fit for them, they already have a trust with you and their journey is going to be started on the right foot, okay? So that is everything that I have on my screen. So I'll go ahead and stop screen sharing if I can figure it out. I can never remember how to, oh, there we go, right in front of me. So I hope that was helpful. And one thing that I always say, like, again, just remember that you're talking to humans. Like, remember what it was like for you before you became a coach. You were probably super uncomfortable, and whether Melissa invited you, whoever invited you, like, you felt vulnerable. Like, this is a vulnerable process that you go through your fitness journey, right? And we are privileged to carry people through that. So don't take that lightly in your conversations. Don't just move through it until you find the next Success Club points. Make sure you're leading with a heart of service, because I promise you your business will double leading with intentions to help people and not intentions to just grow your business. So, okay, I have a bunch of stuff in the chat, so let me pull it up to see if you guys have questions. Yes, this was recorded. I know, Laura, it is common sense, right? To just shut up and listen, but we just get so excited to share the products that sometimes we forget to do that. So, yes, people want to be heard. Let me see. Do I ever tell them about the home direct part so that they don't change their cart? Honestly, I have mixed feelings about this because it says that stuff is on home direct in the cart before they check out. And I think there's a level of responsibility. If people don't read that and then come after me the next month or something, I always tell them, you know, it was stated when you purchased your product. But yes, like obviously this is just a rough outline, but yes, I typically mention to them, because I also always throw in the opportunity to be a discount coach. I always, once I know that they want their challenge pack, I always throw out the discount coach option. And this is how I put it. I always just say, okay, so before we get set up, there's two different ways that you can do this. You can either enroll as a customer, or there's a loophole that a lot of my body shop girls do. The body shop is my challenge group. So I would just say, or there's a loophole that a lot of my body shop girls use to get a discount, which is where you can enroll as a coach, which is what I am, but you don't have to do anything. And the reason why I recommend it, can you guys tell that I literally recite this all day long? The reason why I recommend it is because as coaches, we get 25% discounts. So you can actually save on your products and programs. It's month to month. You can cancel it whenever you want to, but it's just a loophole to save, and it doesn't change the cost for you enrolling today. And then again, I always tell them, so those are your two options. Let me know which one is the right fit for you so that I can enroll you accordingly. So I always throw the discount option in there, but I don't tell them like, hey, you should do it. I just say, that's an option. Let me know which one is going to be the right fit for you. I always let them make the decisions. At least they think they're making the decisions, but I'm teeing up the conversation perfectly that I know exactly how it's going to go. Like, I know exactly how my conversations are going to go because of the way that I have teed it up. But it's very organic. It's a very good experience for them. They feel, like I said, heard, cared about, helped. They get into the community on such a good start this way, you know? So let me see. Home direct means it's a monthly order, Emma. So like, for example, when you purchase Shakeology, it automatically puts you on home direct, which is where it ships monthly. And when they do that, it's discounted shipping, which is a huge benefit, because I think the shipping for Shakeology is like $15 or $17. And so when it's only $2 versus $17, that's very helpful. So I always tell people to not cancel their home direct and to just skip it if they need to, because you don't, once you cancel your home direct, you can't get that discounted shipping back. So do you guys have any questions? Yeah, Lindy, that's really unfortunate that, you know, you've picked up customers from coaches that got the sale and stopped coaching. That is going to happen because anybody can be a coach. And that doesn't mean that every coach has a heart of service. And that is a bummer, but that's why it's so important that we lead with a heart of service and intention to help people and not just get success club points. And this conversation is really going to help you. Like, this format is really going to help you do just that, I believe. So do you guys have any other questions before I get off? A person that doesn't enjoy any exercise, what do you recommend? Well, I recommend that they get moving. They've got to do something to move their body. But so maybe like if they're like, I don't like to exercise, I don't want to run. Girl, I feel you. I think that people that run are crazy. Like, don't get how people love that, but to each their own. Then recommend something like Country Heat or Size. That's literally just going to get them moving. I don't know if you guys know who Coach Tulin is, but she literally said that the first program she did was Cinthanie, and she swayed back and forth the whole time. She didn't do the moves. She just swayed, just started moving somewhere. Okay, so just get people moving. And obviously, like, we have so many great nutrition programs now, like awesome nutrition programs. Have them do Ultimate Portion Fix, have them do 2D Mindset, have them do 3-Day Refresh, have them do Ultimate Reset. Like, we have so many things more than just the workouts. I think that our workouts are amazing, but the nutrition platform that we have, especially with recipes and stuff from Fixate, like that's invaluable. No one else has that. Nobody else has that. Let me see. If they choose not to be a coach right away, do they lose the option later? So no, they don't lose the option to ever become a coach, but here's what will happen. So let's say they purchased a challenge pack and then later they want to become a coach. They are going to have to pay the $40 sign-up fee that's waived when you purchase the challenge pack, but they're going to have to pay the $40 sign-up fee. But if they have purchased a challenge pack previously, they can send in a challenge pack reimbursement form and they will get that $40 back, which is awesome. What if they ghost you after you send the price breakdown? Such a good question. So I always respond to them and say like, hey girl, I saw that you looked over the prices, but then you didn't respond. Is there something that you had questions about? And then if they don't respond to that, I jokingly am like, did I do something wrong? I always, like, that is always, Marissa laughs because she knows that that is like that is the last tool on my tool belt, is always, did I do something wrong? Because when I send that, then people are like, oh no, it wasn't you, my kid puked and then I forgot to message you or whatever. Like, it's always, if I ask like, did I do something wrong? They're always like, no, 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 no. And it starts the conversation back over. And it's like, okay, great. I know I didn't do anything wrong, but let's talk about the prices again. So, if they ghost you, just follow up, you guys. Fortune is in the follow-up. Don't think that just because they didn't respond that they want nothing to do with you. We make so many assumptions because we let ourselves get so insecure when we invite or have a conversation. Like if they don't respond right away, they're like, oh, you literally are like, oh my gosh, I'm a horrible coach. Like I said too much. I didn't say enough. Like we freak ourselves out. Yeah, literally, it's not like, it's something as simple as they left you on red and forgot to message you because they got in the shower or something, you know? So don't like freak yourself out. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. And even if they did and they ghosted you, here's what I always tell my coaches. If you get ghosted or people tell you no, here's the thing. If I message somebody and they ghost me or say no, my life is not going to change. I'm going to go to bed in the same bed, have the same husband. Like it's not going to change my life. But if somebody says yes, it is going to change theirs. So don't let your fears get in the way of giving somebody else an opportunity to have their life changed. It's not up to you and it's not about you. It's about who you can help. The minute you become a coach, it is not about you anymore. It's about who you can help. So you can't get in your way of helping people. Can you explain again about the cost of the shipping? Tracy, I'm not sure. Can you like elaborate on that? I'm not sure I understand your question. Let me see. How do you personally answer when someone asks you if it's expensive? Because it's always a personal option and expense, but other. Okay, so everybody has a different idea of expensive. And so if you think that it is expensive, you need to like better understand our products and really dig into having a transformation, because the cost of your health is priceless. It's not expensive to take care of your life. Medical bills are expensive when you don't take care of yourself, you know? So no, this isn't expensive. And that's why I'm saying compare the price to other packages in our arsenal, because when you compare the price of our arsenal, it doesn't feel as expensive if they're comparing it to something else. So I had something else that I was going to say about that. Oh, and sometimes like if you invite somebody and this is my favorite, not really, I'm saying that sarcastically, but when you invite somebody and they respond back and all they say is, how much does it cost? I'm like, hi, hello, I'm Cinthanie, I'm a human, like, let's have a conversation. Like, I hate that when people are just like, how much does it cost? Like, I feel like it's so like, excuse me, it's hostile. But I always respond to that by saying the cost varies depending on what your needs are. So if you want to let me ask you a couple questions about your goals, it's going to help me to figure out if this is the right fit for you or not. And then we go right into all those steps that I just shared with you. So if people just want to know the cost right up front, tell them the truth. I don't know. What if you need energized? Like I can't give you a rough estimate because I don't know what you need yet. So let's talk like human beings and not cavemen and let's go through it together, shall we? Like I hate when people do that. How much does it cost? Like that kills me. If they get off HD, the cost of shipping goes up. Yes, we get discounted shipping on any products that are, or Shakeology that is on Home Direct. Don't quote me on any products. Shakeology, when it's on Home Direct, the shipping is discounted to like $2. But when it's not on Home Direct, you have to pay the cost of the shipping, the full cost, and it's somewhere between, obviously depending where you live, like $10 to $17. So there are huge benefits of being on Home Direct, obviously. Okay, so do you guys have any other questions? Has this been helpful, or do you feel like it was just like bleh? Little bit helpful? Okay, Tracy's with me. Cool, thanks Tracy. All right, you guys. Well, I hope that this was helpful to you. And I can put my slides in a Google Doc and share it on, like when this is shared in the team page, the recording, I will put the link to the Google Doc for these slides if you want to go back and go over them again, if you didn't take very good notes, even though you should have, and I told you to. But I will close it out with just saying there's like a little mantra of mine that I always share at the end of any call or anything that I do, is that you are a good person and you deserve to make good things happen to you. And you guys, this business is a really good thing, and it is happening to you right now. You just have to know that you're deserving of it. You are deserving of the work that you put into it. You are deserving of reaping the benefits and reward from this business. So don't ever think that you're not worthy of creating success in this business. I think that's such a lie that so many coaches tell themselves. So you are a good person and you deserve to make good things happen to you. This business is a good thing. It's happening to you right now. You just have to know that you deserve it and act upon it. So thank you guys for spending your time with me tonight. I know I'm not Melissa, but I hope I served you guys. So I'll talk to you guys later. And if you have any other questions, just drop them on the recording link once it's posted in the page, and I'll do my best to answer them. So bye guys.